My name is Mayowa Obisesan. I'm a software engineer and with background in Web2 before I moved into Web3 space. So my first Web3 encounter was at Web3Bridge. Currently, I do more of front-end development because that's where I've been opportune to work since I started. But I understand more about the smart contract side as well, because if you are working with Web3 front-end, you need to also understand the integration side of things. So basically, yes, I'm more of a full stack engineer in both the Web2 space and you can say in the Web3 space as well. Web3 gave me two things. Number one, the community, and number two, the knowledge. And the knowledge is very important because when I came, I realized that there were things that I needed to know, that I wanted to know, that Web3 was ready to give me on the platter of gold. And it was nice. So I think for me, those two things were very important. The community first, and then the knowledge second. Okay, so I'm from Quart 9. I was the governor then in Quart 9. So my happiest moments, there are too many. I'm trying to pick the one. I think the happiest moment would be, I think there was the day we had an internal kind of election. It was more like we were just teasing ourselves an election. I was the governor at that time, and someone just rose up and said, I want to become the governor today. So then we just started, okay, so fine, let's do this bit of campaign. So it was more like an online campaign that we did. It was fun. It was more like a binding moment for all of us in the quad. So I think that day I really felt I felt that bond between us. That was the day I felt the most like amongst all of us in the quads then. So it was at night, it didn't just 1 hour, but it was something that you won't forget. Yeah, I was a Web2 software engineer before I joined Web3Bridge. So I heard about Web3Bridge from a colleague at the office. So then, like I said, I was planning to start Web3, right? So when she saw that that day she saw me learning about Web3 and she was like, "Oh, are you learning Web3 too?" I said, "Yes, I've always wanted to." That was since early 2023, January 2023. I wanted to, but due to being busy and other things, I couldn't focus to start as I wanted to. So then she saw my resources that day, learning, just picking up what is Web3. I've not even gone past that stage at that point. And she was like, "Oh, I can recommend the place for you." And I was like, "Okay." The first thing that actually sold it for me was, she said, "I can recommend the place and they will teach you well." And I was like, "Oh, really? They will teach me well?" She said, "Yes." She said she can guarantee that they will teach me well and I will know what I want to. I was like, "Okay," because that was my interest. I wanted to know it and I was ready to learn it. So it was like, "They will teach you well." And I was like, "Okay, fine. Then that means I'm ready to go for it." And that was one of the reasons why I even decided to do the on-site, because I didn't want something that would distract me again. I was ready to do it. I saw a place to do it, and then I went for it. So as someone with programming background, right, coming to Web3Bridge, the on-site and virtual, I think I chose on-site because I felt like for me, it was what I needed. If it was virtual, I wouldn't be able to dedicate as much time. For me, personally, that was mine because I knew my schedule at that point. But the on-site experience is great, really. Like, there's nothing I can even use to compare it. When it comes to actually learning, you are seeing the mentors, you can ask any form of questions you want. Any form of questions, literally, like any question. So it's very, very, very nice. Web3 hosting you, it's just a great experience. The accommodation is convenient, it's conducive. The feeding, you get 3 square meal a day. Like, who does that? The environment is lively to be. It's one of the places you want to say, "Yeah, I'm coming here to learn." And you're not just coming to learn, just to learn how to code. Like, you're learning about life, you're learning about experiences, you're learning about communication, relationship, teamwork. Like, the list just goes on. You are just learning to be a better person and to open yourself to possibilities of what you didn't consider possible even before coming to this place. So I think Web3 is one of those places whereby you count yourself lucky to be, no matter who you are, no matter your background, no matter your previous experiences. Web3 is something you want to be familiar about. Everything is moving towards that line. Like I always tell myself before coming to Web3Bridge that there's Web2 and there's Web3. Definitely Web3 is an upgrade of Web2. That was where I looked at it before coming. So when I came, I learned a whole lot more. But that was where I saw it. And I feel like you always need to update yourself, right? So if you don't know about Web3, even if you're not going to be the type that writes code, that writes smart contracts and build apps and things like that, have an idea of what this thing is. Because this thing is where economies are going to. Governments are shifting to Web3. Everybody is moving to this because it's an update. Everybody always updates. No matter who you are, you want to upgrade. So I think it's one of those things you need to do. For me, that was the drive. That was what brought me. I wanted to know about this thing. What is this thing that I've been hearing about? As a software engineer, you need to update yourself. But aside from being a software engineer, now I believe that life is all about moving forward. Now, Web2 is there. What is Web3? Know about Web3. What is this thing? What is it about? How is this thing shaping economies? How is it affecting government? How is it affecting individuals? Understand this concept. And I think Web3 Bridge is the best place to learn it, at least that I know of in Nigeria, and I can even say in Africa.